Well, it could be that it was sent by some intelligent civilization elsewhere in the Milky Way galaxy. You know, the fundamental question is...
This is a big deal, guys. We are seeing X-rays, not just dust and ice. I'm talking about an interstellar object, comet, spaceship, space junk, or whatever the heck it is. This is very, very fascinating, guys. So stay with me. Our mysterious visitor from outside our solar system, 3I Atlas, is not just drifting by, but it's glowing, and it's glowing in X-rays. It's not just what a normal comet is displaying. That's something, guys, that we've never seen before with an interstellar object. So this is exciting. Please stay with me. And hey guys, do me a favor. Could you give this video an early like and press that new hype button? That's supporting my channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Let's dive right in. What 3-eyed Atlas is doing, that object, and I'm always saying whatever the heck it is, guys, because it has so many anomalies. If you watch my channel on a regular basis, you have probably seen those videos. If not, check the playlist in the end screen. So according to a new report, the telescope, I've mentioned that briefly in my last video, it's called IXS, or IXSI, pronounced PRISM, has captured the first ever X-ray image of 3I Atlas. So that means 3I Atlas is not just reflecting sunlight or shining invisible light. It's basically interacting with the sun, guys, interacting with the sun and the solar wind in a way that produces these high-energy X-rays. That's why I said at the beginning, that's huge, 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 guys. And I'll show you now the first image that shows these X-rays on a good display, so that we can really see what I am talking about. So in this image, you basically see a faint fuzzy glow around the object, around 3I Atlas, and that glow is the key. That glow, that's the X-rays we're talking about. That's not ice, and that's not dust. And what do X-rays coming from it? Let's call it a comet for now mean. Let's talk about the simple physics behind that first. And then, as always, let's talk about our friend 3I Atlas and how that is strange. So to understand why what we're looking at is important, and I'll show you briefly the other image here, and we will talk in depth about what we're seeing in this image as well. I said simple physics, so let's start with that. To understand why this is important, we need to know a little bit more about how comets and X-rays normally, I have to say, interact. But I'll keep it super simple, guys, I promise. So a comet is basically a dirty snowball that is made of ices like water and carbon dioxide and dust that's on the surface of it. And as a comet approaches the sun, some of this ice turns into gas because it's being heated up right away. From that form, it turns right away into gas, and it forms a cloud around the comet that is called a coma. Meanwhile, the sun constantly sends out a stream of charged particles that we call the solar wind. And it's mostly fast-moving ions, basically atoms that are stripped of electrons. And when those charged solar wind ions slam into the neutral gas around the comet, the gas is neutral. A process called charge exchange can happen. The solar wind ion grabs one or more electrons from the comet's gas atoms. That's what charge exchange means. And that event is the key. That event, when that happens, it emits X-ray photons. That is, in easy words, high-energy light that we can't see with our eyes, but telescopes like PRISM can. It can see them, and now we can see them too. This process has been seen many times for comets within our solar system. So this is a known natural phenomenon with comets that are coming from and originating within our solar system. So X-ray emission from a comet is not weird by itself. What is weird is that now an interstellar object like 3I Atlas is showing exactly that behavior. For the first time ever, the other two that we have discovered so far did not display that. So that tells us 3I Atlas has a coma, a gas and dust cloud that is actually interacting with the sun's wind, the solar wind, just like solar system comets can do. So what could that mean for something that's coming from another star system? What does this PRISM detection show us? And why does this matter? So PRISM's extended camera, that's the name of the camera, took an X-ray image of 3I Atlas. This image shows this faint halo, that's a glow that's surrounding the object. And it's extending up to 400,000 kilometers from its center. That's how widespread this glow is. And they also analyzed the X-ray spectrum, the colors of X-rays. These are not visible colors, but they're energetic signatures. And they saw, and that was interesting, evidence of elements like carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. These are the same kind of atoms expected if the solar wind ions collide with gas from the comet. So that's why they could build this theory. What does that tell them? Well, the X-rays are almost certainly produced by this known natural process. Solar wind hitting the comet's gas and generating charge exchange reactions that we just learned about. So 3I Atlas behaves like a comet in that sense. This supports the idea, guys, that despite being from another star system, 3I Atlas still follows familiar physics, our physics, when it enters our solar system. Because now the good thing is, we can study its coma, the gas cloud composition, via X-rays. That gives another independent way besides visible light, infrared light, and radio to learn what 3I Atlas is made of. And that's so important for us. How dense is its atmosphere? How far does it spread? And how does it interact with our sun? So that prism detection, guys, does not prove that 3I Atlas is alien or artificial. But what it definitely does do is it adds real physical evidence that this interstellar visitor has a real gas and dust environment, like a comet. And that environment reacts to the sun just like a comet in our solar system. So we could say, over and done, this is a natural comet, haha. But there is something that it doesn't prove, guys. So that's why it's not so easy, and that's what remains mysterious. Let's get to that. Even with the X-ray detection, guys, lots of big questions remain about 3I Atlas. Because what we know is that this detection alone does not show anything unusual. Yes, no signs of technology, for example, that it could be a probe or a spaceship-like propulsion systems, or any artificial behavior. It's basically consistent with natural comet physics. It also doesn't answer all the strange behaviors that we've previously seen with 3I Atlas, all these anomalies. It doesn't explain them. It's not an explanation for these anomalies. The anomalies therefore still exist, and we do not have an explanation. If you want to learn about all these anomalies, check out my videos, guys. For me, the most crucial one is that it changed direction when it was in perihelion, and it's now directly. That can't be a coincidence. The probability is 0 to Jupiter's Hill sphere radius, that it meets the Hill sphere radius. Also, the odd tail behavior we talked about, the weird jet directions, the possible non-gravitational acceleration, unusual chemical signatures. We found cyanide, I made a video about that. So all of these anomalies, I think it's 15 by now, they remain unexplained. And many people say that, let's say this was artificial. Of course it wants us to think this is a normal comet. That's why it would display some normal comet behavior. So what this new detection is, it doesn't give us a full picture of the comet's complete composition. The X-rays tell us about interaction with the solar wind, but they don't directly measure everything, like the ices, the metals, the dust grain sizes, etc. So the X-ray glow adds a strong data point. But by far, guys, it doesn't solve the mystery. So what we can say is, since this discovery, 3I Atlas is no longer just a point of light that is visible in telescopes. It's now been seen in X-rays. It confirms its gas and dust cloud is real, and that it's interacting with the sun. That makes it behave like a comet, even though it came from another star system. It's an interstellar object, definitely. This new X-ray detection gives scientists a new tool to study 3I Atlas's composition and structure, in addition to visible, infrared, and radio observations. 3I Atlas. Guys, it's not solved yet. It remains a fascinating mystery, but step by step, we're adding the pieces of the puzzle together. But so many pieces of this puzzle are still missing. I hope you like this video, guys. Check out my playlist here in the end screen if you want to learn about earthquakes, volcanoes, and stuff like this. We just had a big one in Japan, magnitude 7.6. Check out the videos in the end screen, or go to my channel start page. Click on videos or recent, then you see everything that's going on in the world. I'm on the pulse for you. If you want to support the channel, guys, check the link in the description. You can buy me coffee there. Thank you for your super skies and your support and your comments. And let me know in the comments, do you think 3I Atlas is a cool comet? Nothing to see here. Or could this be something else? I would like to know. So stay safe, be prepared. I'll see you in a second if you click here. Bye bye.